Well, um, good news is that Patrick Marleau has now tied Gordie Howe in regular season games played in the National Hockey League. The bad news is the Sharks, well, they stunk it up tonight. Is that a bad thing? We'll talk about it and more. This is Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is April 16th, 2021. The San Jose Sharks lose in a laugher 5-2 over the Minnesota Wild. This is Teal Town After Dark, your live interactive Sharks postgame show. We do this after every single hockey game for the Sharks, and if you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow Sharks fans on the page or on the YouTube app. Follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It does go a long way. SoundCloud, Reddit, and of course our Discord after the show. And of course find everything at tealtownusa.com. Good evening, everyone. Alongside Ian Blogs Hockey, I am Erik Kuhre. Ian, how are you this evening?
I'm all right. I'm great, actually. To be honest, yeah, I'm fantastic.
I love it. Al Martinet, for the record, this is not a recording from yesterday.
That's true.
It was worse yesterday in some form. Then again, tonight was really bad. And honestly, we're going to break a lot of things down to this. We'll set aside a lot of the Marleau stuff in a little bit because we need to get the frustration out of tonight's game. A 5-2 loss for the Sharks to the Minnesota Wild. Looked promising early on. You got Brent Burns getting off of his schneid, his 20-something game schneid, to make it 1-0, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
A nice little classic Burns. I don't know what to call it. It's like a wrist shot one-timer. It's not like a big old wind-up for a one-timer, but a nice little wrister that beat Kakinen to make it 1-0. And everything looked good. Everything looked pretty good. And then, Ian, everything fell apart after that.
Yeah, God, it's just the performance has just been. They haven't been good. And there's just no way around it. There's just no sugarcoating it. This team has not looked good in a while, and it doesn't matter who comes in or out of the lineup. They look like, I don't know. Are they upset that, are some players upset that they didn't get to leave town? I don't think so, because I think anyone expecting to leave town probably has a contract that stops that from being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they haven't been good, which is great because draft pick, baby. But yeah, I mean, it sucks because at least there have been games where they have lost, where the games have at least enjoy a Sharks loss, but some losses are easier to watch than others, and this one and the last few games have not been that. They've been not only just crappy losses, but they've been just really hard games to watch.
Yeah. No, granted, I thought they played okay last night.
Yeah.
They hung in there. They realistically, honestly, you could say they had that tough break of what, a half a minute between two goals in the second period, and that was their backbreaker, and that did them in. Evander gets that goal late in the third to get within, within one. That's the teaser goal. Tonight, though, you see Zuccarello scored, then Eriksson Ek with the chest in into the net to essentially that would be one that kind of frustrated the Sharks, and then of course Parisi's shot, which I'm sorry that looks soft That looks
That
softer
that
than
was
this Frosty.
awful. Yeah, like that was brutal, and not even like not even was the goal bad, but the body language after was bad. Like it's funny because of was it a week ago when they're saying, oh, just we can't just ride Jones for all these games, and I like tweeted, I think I subtweeted saying like, yeah, so okay, so Jones is gonna start 13 of the next 16 instead of 16 of the next 16. Like, what are they doing?
Well, and you go into, what do you do Monday? I mean,
You start someone else. Yeah, you give Kozanash another start, or you bring up Melnichuk, give him a start. Do something. I mean, at this point, like this
why
again,
not?
this team is in such denial of where they are. Like I don't know how this team, Bob Bugner comes out today and says, "Oh, we got to go with the guy that's going to give us the best chance to win because playoffs." Blah 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 blah. Like after the last games that you've played, like really, like you can look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself this is a playoff team and you gotta ride Jones until he dies because
It seems like he's already dead.
because you're gonna make the playoffs. Give me a break. Like this team is look just absolutely atrocious for so many games in a row that you're gonna come out and with a straight face say, yeah, we gotta start Jones tonight because gotta give ourselves the best chance to win, gotta make the playoffs. What a joke.
And then, of course, you get, two more goals. One I thought was ridiculously challenged, uh, and I'm like, why are we challenging this? You thought there was goaltender interference, or were you just trying to get a timeout? Because
No,
honestly,
you can't do that because you get because you lose the challenge, you get a penalty. I mean, I guess I could understand. I could. I'm not. I think it was a really stupid challenge, but I can understand the thought process that goes into it because we've seen weird things get called before. Like, what is goaltender interference? I have no idea. It changes game to game. It feels like. So I feel like, yeah, I maybe you might have seen goaltender interference. I thought it was a really stupid challenge. I didn't see goaltender interference there. Like Jones is outside of the blue paint. That dude the guy Sturm didn't change direction or anything. Like he
no.
skated in a straight line. Jones stuck his leg out and then complains that he's out of position for the wraparound. Like he looked so bad. Like tonight, like just atrociously bad tonight. And then you're gonna try and like you don't win goaltender interference because your goalie just sucks.
Well,
that's not how it works.
And I mentioned it last night on that maybe Jones is comfortable since they traded Devin Dubnyk. Looked it up, and including tonight's game where he allows 5 goals, Martin Jones since the Devin Dubnyk trade, which, Ian, that was last Saturday. So we're counting Saturday's game against LA last week. Martin Jones has allowed 19 goals on 76 shots for an .806 save percentage.
I don't think there's anything to it. I think it's just coincidence because, again, like I said the last time I was on the show, when everyone's like, well, Martin Jones is playing a little bit better. Do you really buy him out, Ian? Really? Yeah, you buy him out because, again, the valleys have been so much wider and deeper than the peaks. This is why you buy out Martin Jones. He is not a good goalie, period. End of discussion. Yeah, he gets a little hot streak and he looks like a competent NHL goalie for a few games at a time, and then he sucks. Like this has been the trend for I don't know how long, but yet every time he puts together a couple of good games, I'm the bad guy because I'm not cheering for my team good enough. No, he's a bad fucking goalie. Get rid of him. Buy him out. It's ridiculous.
At this point, I was like trying to give any chance whatsoever to keep Martin Jones around. But no, after this,
Martin Jones apology tour needs to stop.
After this,
needs to stop.
After this, there's no excuse. If he is around next season, you bite the bullet with the cap hit. I don't know if you sweeten the pot to try and magically send him somewhere. Good luck. But
yeah, he's a bad goalie, and he's eating almost $6 million of cap space.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And that's cap space you can save right now. Now, granted, if this were more better times, no COVID happening, maybe the 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 cap is a little higher, where you say, okay, we could just deal with it.
You
No,
still
not
buy him out
anymore. But now,
regardless. You buy him out either way. I don't care if the cap goes up $10 million. You still buy him out.
oh man, it's just bad, and it's feeling really bad. Comments
Sure.
coming in from the locker room now. Burnsy say guys are squeaking the sticks to try to create. Just get in their trenches. I mean, come on. You have to work to get out of this. Play detailed, play for each other. You know, Burns is saying that, and you're hearing that. You know, it's like they're not playing for each other. Essentially, is what like they're coming out and
I don't know.
saying.
See, there's a couple of things that have like really kind of stuck in my craw a little bit lately. Because I think obviously whenever things go bad, then everyone starts going crazy. Like maybe people think I go crazy with my buyout Jones thing, but I feel like that's been warranted by now. But like I've seen some of my Twitter feed, oh, they're in a 5 game tailspin. So, oh, we probably, it's time to take the C off Couture. Like, I don't think that's like I don't understand that, you know? And everyone will go back, oh, well, because of course, whenever anything goes bad, it's like, well, if we still had Pavelski, well, I think the thing that the problem is that, the one thing that, everyone says Pavelski's such a great leader because of the stupid video, the carefully edited blah 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 from the Stadium series, right? This is the thing everyone points to. But like Pavelski didn't have the C there. Like you
No
just
one did.
because well, who cares? Someone, I mean, no one had the C.
No, it was 14-15. That was the year they stripped Jumbo.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So they stripped him. But I mean, there's always other leaders in the room, right? Like, it's not like people are in the room being like, oh, I can't say anything. Couture's the captain. Like, I can't speak up. Now, like, fuck off.
No,
you know, like, it bothers me. Do I think Couture is playing his best hockey right now? No. I also don't think he's 100% either. But you think changing a felt letter is going to change the mojo of this team? No, it's not. Like this team has bigger problems than who's wearing the captaincy. I don't think it's fair to put this on Logan Couture's, you know, to just lay this all on Couture. Like I don't get it. Like I don't understand. But I
I
mean, I guess it's like, whenever things goes bad, it's like, oh well, we got to change something for
well,
the
well,
sake of changing something.
yeah, and I think it's the whole thing of somebody's got to point the finger at somebody, and if it's either Doug Wilson, Bob Bugner, who apparently is pissed, and good,
But I
he
should be.
he
I
better
mean, this
fucking
team
be
looked like
pissed.
absolute trash tonight.
Yeah, he better be pissed for that matter. I think everybody should be pissed, and especially to put out an effort for one of two games that mean so much to some of these people, especially if your name is Marleau. I mean, yes, I get it's the record. I guess a lot of people say I can't wait for him to retire Monday or whatnot. Still, they got off to a good start. They were on a good, 1-0 lead. They got the love for Marleau in the building, which was great and all. But then you lay a bed, you let them score 3 goals in a minute 12. I mean, that's very Vegas Golden Knights like in the playoffs of 2018. Come on.
Yeah, it was bad. Bad team does bad things. Here's the other thing too. Like since we're talking about things that grind my gears, and since you brought up Marleau, like I cannot believe the the hand wringing over this Marleau record from like some pockets. Like I'm not gonna try and take away anything. I'm not trying to here to take anything away from Gordie Howe. Like we all know how great Gordie Howe was. But like when he played his last game, it was what, 1979? Like completely different era of hockey. Because it was like, oh, look how productive he was still at his age. Yeah, I mean, guys were getting 200 points a bloody season at that point too. Um, like you're an NHL player. Like I look at, am I going to be the first to defend Marleau here and say he's had a great season and he absolutely deserves a spot in this lineup? No, I'm not going to make that argument. But what I will say is you're an NHL player as long as somebody puts you on the ice and pays you. So, like, people being all butthurt about this, about him, like, breaking Gordie Howe's record because he's not as great as Gordie Howe. Like, it's a games played record. Like, he did it. No one forced Gordie Howe to go play in the WHA for more money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so stupid. Like, there's just no way around it. Like, am I going to tell you that Patrick Marleau has been the best Shark this year? Not even close. But he played the games. He found someone to pay him to put him in to play the games. Like, it's a big deal. And I don't understand this sudden need from some pockets to just completely diminish this. Like, dude played the games. Yeah. You know what? But they'll use the same argument, right? Like they'll use the same argument for like, oh, well, when Gordie Howe did it, NHL seasons weren't as long, but then they'll point to productiveness and they won't realize that it was a completely, that was a completely different. Oh, no, you don't. Like, fuck off. Like, it's fine, right? Like the dude played the games. Get over it.
Yeah. I mean, it's an accomplishment. It should be recognized. It's nothing. I mean, it's not nothing sexy like goals or points or anything like that. And granted, he has a bunch of those as well. I mean, you're going to have that in.
Oh yeah, it's not like Patrick Marleau's a terrible hockey player. Like, right. The guy's gonna be. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he's probably gonna get in.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not like he's like this completely, it's not like he did this record and he's John Scott.
No,
right?
No, right. I agree. It's not like, it's not like it's some, it's not like, and I mean, no disrespect, but a random person like Jeff Odgers,
right.
Playing 25 years as a grinder.
I don't know. He did it. Like,
yeah. And another point, this record would have been done a lot earlier. Take out the lockouts and Marleau passes this record 2 seasons ago when he was still mildly effective. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
Patrick Marleau still had a hell of a career. He's not like, I understand that we're all pretty sour at him right now, but like, it doesn't change. Like, he had a hell of a career.
Yeah. And see,
should he hang up his skates? Yeah, probably. Like, if the Sharks bring him back next year, I'm gonna be really, really mad. There's 2 things that will probably have me completely blow my hat off. Will be, A, Martin Jones not getting bought out, and B, Patrick Marleau returning for, a season at 42. If either thing happens, I will lose my bloody mind.
But my question is this though, Ian. If he is brought back, does that show more signs that the development in this organization is an absolute failure, that you have to bring back 42-year-old Patrick Marleau? I mean, that kind of speaks volumes. If now,
I think it would add to the. I don't know if it speaks to that. Like, yeah, it would speak to that. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but I mean, it really shows that, like, for, okay, so. Again, like, in my opinion, Doug Wilson should have been replaced last year. And if these things continue to happen, then he continuously needs to be replaced. Like, and I know some people won't like that and be like, well, who do you replace him with? I don't know. That's not my job. But, like, if he's doing things that are getting entirely hard to defend at this point, just because. And yes, okay, so he's had a couple of good trade deadlines, but like, I don't know I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, what we'll tell you is come in the comments that Bob Bugner had, and it sounds like they were as spicy as your tortilla chips before we went on air. From Bob Bugner, Meyer and LeBanc were both horrible in the first period. If you're not going to commit, you're not going to play in the position that you want. And those were just 2 of them. I mean, definitely a little something spicy there, big time.
Well, I mean, if you're Bob Bugner, how can you be happy with what's happened tonight? Like, there's no way, you know, like you can't be happy with the way this team played. I would be unhappy. Like, I would be upset if he wasn't a little bit angry in this presser.
Well, and one of the things is that you sustain so much pressure in the middle frame,
Mm-hmm.
and you look like you're just on the verge of just getting a shot to go in on Kakkonen, and then the other way comes Nico Sturm, and he just does a little backhander to score to make it 4-1. Or excuse me, 5-1. Excuse me about that. You know, and it's like any type of momentum he had just absolutely shit the bed.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time though, too. I mean, it wasn't just Jones.
True.
Like, blown like there's again blown assignments like this. It's a mess.
This one's an interesting one. We've been doing a lot of one-on-one meetings, team meetings, but we need accountability, and all I can control is time on ice. We can't allow a soft goal every night. A lot of things can improve.
Yeah, again, I've tried nothing and nothing's worked, so I'm angry. Like, I don't know. Like, what are they? I don't know why they think they're gonna, switch two guys for another two guys from the Guy factory and it's gonna make a difference. Like, there's system problems with this team, and I don't know if it's because either the system sucks or the players haven't bought in or a combination of the two. I don't know what it is at this point. Like, it's really, really difficult to put your finger on it because they just look disinterested.
But why?
I don't know.
That's the thing. At one point they were 1 point out of a playoff spot. I don't know,
because they had a easy schedule. Like, I think again, like, they had an easy. They were close because they beat teams they should beat, and now they've stopped even doing that. I'm not saying the Wild are a team they should beat, but they've you can win a game, but like, it goes back to losing those games against LA and Anaheim.
Yeah, and you can throw in one of the Vegas games. You could throw in the Arizona series. It's something else. You're smirking, so there must be something I'm not seeing in the chat.
I'm just reading in the chat, just Patrick Tyler saying that the Guy Factories is an intellectual property, and he's right.
Yes. Copyright Roy Sommer, because that's all he produces and develops.
He's right. But no, I just it's hard. Like, I mean, I wish I could say like something's good, right? Like, but it's hard because like I can't think of a good thing about this team right now, really.
It's demoralizing. They have a shot, and I think that's why I've been pissed so much lately, is that this team is so close to making or getting into a playoff spot, and they are not showing up. We've heard Bugner say they're not ready, that all he can do is control the time on ice. No, you could do a lot more than that. You can coach the fucking team.
Well, I mean, how many times? Like,
no, but I mean, we're not ready. We're not prepared.
Like, I don't know.
We're soft. I mean, it's like, well, what the hell's going on here?
I wish I could tell you. Like, I wish I could, I wish I could tell you what's going on, but I don't know because I'm not in the room. Like, so I really don't know what the hell's going on. I just know that what we've seen hasn't been good.
And they feel demoralized and defeated, especially in some of the pictures we've seen from these press conferences.
Well, they should.
Yeah.
As well they should. I mean, they I think the them being close to the playoffs, and we said that when they were, like, it was a mirage. They were close because of the strength of their schedule at that time. And and a couple, and there's other teams too that have just decided that they just don't. No one wants it.
No, that's what I think that's what pains it, is that no one wants it. They can have it if they really gave a damn. But right now, it looks like they don't give a damn.
it's tough. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say, and I'm not going to say they don't give it him. But the optics of it for sure, that would be the, I mean, it's hard to see something different at this point. Sorry, I
Right.
didn't realize I was so
Hey,
loud.
you take your sip. Bugner did go on to say, I thought Cornash was real good. He made the saves he had to make. He was much better than his last start. He's playing more himself.
Yeah, I think look at pressure was, first NHL start. That's a big pressure situation, and I didn't think he was awful. Like I thought the last game he started, I thought, does he have things to work on? He for sure does.
Yep.
But I thought you'd have to go down the list a little bit of the ways before you got to Koznash, sorry, about, as far as things that went wrong. I don't, I think he's been admirable in his relief. Yeah, he didn't have an amazing game last game. I didn't think he had a terrible game last game either. And there's definitely a few jitters there. He should get, he should get a couple more starts. Especially, like, I don't understand why, again, like, we know we can't ride Jones and then proceed to ride Jones, but that's always been, and that's the thing, like, with Bob Bugner, I mean, how much has really changed from Peter DeBoer to Bob Bugner? Not a lot.
No. And that's the
Like,
thing.
that's why I always say the more they stay the same, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Like, it's dumb.
But will, the team want to pay a coach to replace another coach?
No, because when they fired Peter DeBoer, I mean, they made a coaching staff of they brought in a couple guys to assistant coach, a couple assistant coaches in the off season, but I don't know what their tickets look like. But when they fired Peter DeBoer, and this was when people were still in the building, it was, who am I already paying? Okay, make a coaching staff out of that.
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're making big mistakes that are ending up in the back of our net. We kill a penalty and then they score one off our skate. Chasing the game seems to be the pattern. Yeah, and that's the things of, first goal goes off of Burns. Mm-hmm. And I think we've seen that so many times this year. It's just, the little mistakes. I mean, how many times have we had a hella dudes penalty this season? How many times have we taken
too many?
We've taken the slow hooking calls. I mean, apparently we played the most penalized team in the league, and I think we got what, total of four penalties in the game in the 2-game series. I mean, must be doing something wrong. And AJ, makes it a joke, but it's right. Imagine being asked to work for 30 days and then being asked to leave early on 7 of those days. And
Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Martin Jones has been pulled 7 out of 30 times.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not gonna continuously beat the dead horse. The dude has to get bought out this offseason. There's no way around it. I don't care who you bring in, just get rid of Jones. Like, bring in, if you bring in somebody who gives you the same amount of Jones as, for $2 million, $3 million, like, that's not as nearly as bad as what this is.
No.
Like, look at, they're gonna have to figure out something because, it's regards what Doug Wilson says. Do you honestly think that next season's going to be better? Next season, magically everything's going to fall into place? No. So I mean, you just have to find a stopgap. You don't have to find, the future starter this offseason. You can find a stopgap.
Yep.
But again, stopgap's better than a stopgap at 2 or 2.5 or 3 is better than paying Jones almost 6.
And that's what Devin Dubnyk was supposed to be, a stopgap between.
Yeah, he was a guy that was supposed to come in and help, carry the load, because again, it's a compressed schedule. So you wanted to have another guy that you could count on to come in and play some games, so that you didn't have to ride the, I mean, right now, forget, like there's no rim, there's no wheels. Like these tires are completely bare. It's like they're riding the rims now with Martin Jones.
Yeah. No, I mean,
That's why Dubnyk was brought in. It is what it is. I don't know.
I only put this up because it's been a while since I've seen him in the chat. So, Chester Chivo, good to see you back in here. Appreciate it. And we appreciate all of the 58 people watching us. It's great.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks for joining us. If you're new here, of course, follow what the little things are doing right now. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. That'll notify you when we get on the air after each and every game. So, appreciate everybody coming on and watching us tonight. Of course, tonight, let's try to put some sunshine on this night, I guess, Ian.
Where's the sunshine? Where?
I mean, Marleau, I guess. When you get recognized, but even the other Buildings fans are cheering for you, it hits home. It's humbling to see them show their support for me.
Sure, yeah, it's great. I mean, he matched a record. He's gonna break a record. I mean, that's a big deal, and he should get the recognition for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna do jumping jacks because people are like, "Hey, nice. Hey, you broke a record." Like, great. Like, I don't know.
No, but we'll take this back to October 1st, 1997, and we're gonna put up some stats as well on this night where
all right.
An interesting PA announcer introduced Patrick Marleau in his NHL debut.
Number 14, Patrick Marleau.
I mean, look at that baby face. Come on. Looking all serious and everything. That was from his NHL debut on October 1st, 1997. I mean, you gotta love to see it. But for Patty, yeah, it's a great night. And,
yeah, I mean, for sure. Again, it's a big deal, and I these people that are coming out to try and diminish it, like, again, it's whatever. They're idiots.
But I found this interesting stat that NHL Stats put out today. Marleau makes his debut on October 1st against Edmonton. His future teammate Austin Matthews was born 2 weeks prior up the road in San Ramon. And for those who aren't familiar with the Bay Area, that's about a good 40-minute trip from the Shark Tank to San Ramon. And so kind of pretty cool in that sense that his own teammate would be born 2 weeks prior, just up the road. Obviously, Austin Matthews was inspired by Patrick Marleau when he was just a little baby. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And then looking at that, I mean, he played more games in the 2010s than he did in any other decade, and of course, Jumbo's also part of this, and along with others. But Gordie was the only one who skated in 5 decades in the league, and that's just an unbelievable accomplishment. And of course, Gordie played
Absolutely.
Gordie played what, 300 some odd games in the WHA?
Yep. Yeah, something like that. So
definitely want to give some kudos to Patty on this night for sure, as he ties Gordie Howe. Of course, yours truly will be heading to Las Vegas on Monday to be a part of the game, and I'll be checking in some form following the game on that special night. So, but wanted to throw some love to Patty in that one little thing from that one of his teammates was born just up 40 minutes up from the road. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, like, again, like, it's not like he's had this, he's not like he's been some scrub who's, like, the guy's a good player. And that's the one thing with Marleau is a big testament to him. Like, he's always been healthy, which is, maybe there's some measure of luck to that too, obviously, because I don't care how good a shape you're in if you get If you get hit a certain way, you're gonna get injured. But like he's kept himself in great shape. Like I mean, even now, like it's funny when you look at like other players, it's usually everything else, they can usually do a lot of other things, but they can't skate. Patrick Marleau skates like he was, like he's 20 still. Unfortunately, the rest of it's kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
But the guy can still skate like the wind.
Indeed. And he still has some. I mean, granted, it's not exactly the 19-year-old wheels, but he's got wheels. I mean, he's always had wheels. But
I'm not gonna begrudge it. There's bigger problems on this team than Patrick Marleau.
Oh, big time! And like we said, if he's on this squad next season, that should be screaming to you big time that that there are major problems. But I digress. So we've put the challenge out to 30 likes and a Venmo if you want your favorite segment. In the meantime, I will break out the update from the Shark Tank about another game going on that I know our good friend Kevin Lacey is checking out, and that's a final now. The Barracuda win 4-2 over the Texas Stars.
Nice.
So that's good. That's nice to see. I mean, come on. Ivan Chekovic with the goal. Cole Schneider with the goal and assists. Steen Pasnichuk with a goal. And good to see there. Texas was up 2-0 when they scored 2 goals in about 3 minutes to make it 2-0 Texas Stars. And then Reid, Pasnichuk, Chekovic, and then Evan Weinger with 4 unanswered for the Kuhre to win 4-2 on this night. Good to see the Kuhre getting some loving, and hopefully they can, maybe they can make a Calder Cup playoff run. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, something has to go right with this organization, right?
Anything, please.
I'll take anything at this point.
Right. I mean, we do have fans coming back on the 26th, which is nice to see. A lot of you can check out at sjsharks.com for all that details, including how you're able to get in and everything for that matter.
Okay, wait. Can just in the chat, I'd like to do Marleau right and release him after he breaks the record and allow him to sign with a contender. It's after the trade deadline. He can't play in the playoffs if he goes to a different team now.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing, is that since it's after the deadline,
It's too late.
Yeah.
If he was going to go to a contender, he had to go at the trade deadline. So let's stop that right now.
Yeah. So, oh boy. Yeah. And it just seems like it's a frustrating one indeed. So 2 more likes. Come on. Floral's looking at that. But okay. So let's get set for, while we wait for that extra one. Vegas. Do they even really consider bringing Gabriel back in for that game?
Reeves is injured, so I don't know what they do. I'm actually really fascinated to see what they dress for that game, because I believe Reeves is still out of the lineup. So if Ryan Reeves isn't in the lineup, do they actually ice a competent team?
Does it change things besides not having like Gabriel or?
I don't know why you'd put Gabriel back in the lineup. To me, like I don't understand. I feel like if you want that type of player, I think Vial's been the better player between the two, because Vial just keeps his head down and does things right. I mean, I guess if you want a circus sideshow, then yeah, bring Gabriel back in the lineup. Bring the clown car on the ice. I guess, I don't know.
Break out the Benny Hill theme while we're at it.
Yeah. Like,
not to age ourselves, but I mean, come on. I mean, seriously.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm fascinated by it because honestly, like with Ryan Reeves not being in the lineup, maybe they ice that actual competent team, but maybe Reeves will be healthy and then they'll dress everybody. They'll put Vial and Gabriel and I don't know who they'd center him with.
Yeah. They'll bring back Michael Haley. Why not?
Who knows, man? But I don't know. I mean, I'm fascinated to see what happens there for sure. because I don't think Reeves is going to be healthy anytime soon. So interesting to see what lineup changes they make. I'm assuming it's going to be just the continuous what they've kind of done so far. It's going to be, maybe Shellman stays in and Vial comes back in. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like you said, the guy factory. I mean, you're just going back and forth and everything, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that game, at least those games have been pretty entertaining so far. So I'm hoping that'll be like a more entertaining game than we've had for the last few. I don't think that the, do I think the Sharks are going to win that game? No, but it might be more entertaining.
Yeah.
Because those games are always dumb, right? Like, like the Sharks and Vegas games are always just dumb for one reason or another. And I there's some dumb that I like.
Right. And I know some people were saying that tickets for that game are astronomical. I'm checking right now because I got some that were fairly priced. So I'm trying to see what the range is here. As I pull that up. Yeah, it's starting at $103. So, I mean, $103, I would see that would be great. Well, we're stuck at 29. So thank you for the donation on the Venmo. I know there was one there, but we didn't hit 30.
Do this.
Oh well. But so yeah. But
there we go.
We got it. There we go. All right. Thank you, Ian. Rangers beat the Devils 6-3. Busnevich with a hat trick on Aaron Dell. Things you don't love to see. Ovechkin scores for the Caps in a. Hello, why are you glitching, Ecam?
What are we gonna?
What's gonna be interesting? Speaking of like people getting all butthurt over records getting broken, like it's gonna be a hard thing to do, but I'm curious to see what'll happen. Like what people will come out of the woodwork
right.
if Ovechkin can somehow manage to break Gretzky's goal record.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm kind of looking forward to see. Like I hope he does it just so I can see the reaction. Just see if there's the same nonsense that we've seen today over Marleau. Not that Ovechkin isn't a great player, but like, obviously the points, like no one's ever going to catch Gretzky in points. No, but I'm just curious to see what'll happen, because Ovechkin maybe not known for his overall game like Gretzky was.
Right. Exactly. It's an accomplishment. I mean, he's one of those pure goal scorers.
Yeah, I hope he does. I mean, it's gonna be hard. Like it'll be some seriously tough sledding, but I hope he does just because I want to see the fallout.
Where's he at right now?
He's got a ways to go.
Yeah, I know he's at like 700 something. So, yeah. Moving onward, the Penguins beat the Sabres 3-2. Hey, the Sabres have matched the win total of the Sharks in the 92-93 season, so that's good. The Sharks, way to not have that record broken for sure.
Well, it's hard to know because of points and everything else.
Yeah. The Senators get shut out, the Canadians get shut out by the Ottawa Senators 4-0. What in the world's up with Carey Price?
Yeah, he's had a rough year.
He's had a rough year. I know he's been injury riddled, and that's a concern going down the road. Talk about an expensive contract. The Desert Dogs now have the 4th spot in the West with a 3-2 win over the St. Louis Blues. The Coyotes are at 45. The Blues are at 44. The Sharks are at 40, just so you were aware of.
It's funny, like, because like I was saying earlier, like how none of the teams like want to take that spot. And then, how do you make someone actually take it? You make two of the teams play each other. Someone has to win.
Right.
I mean, the only benefit, I guess, to the Sharks, if you honestly still believe there's playoffs in their future, is that it wasn't a 3-point game. So yay for that, I guess.
Right. Seriously. The Jets were shut out by the Edmonton Oilers 3-0 in this one. Mike Smith gets the shutout victory for Edmonton.
There you go.
Drew Weber's Carolina Hurricanes continue their run with a 3-1 win over Nashville. I'm not even going to attempt
they look great.
I'm not even going to attempt the last name of the winning goaltender for Carolina tonight. Oh man, but kudos to them on the win there. Panthers 5-3 over Tampa Bay in the Battle of Florida. This might be the new battle of rivalry.
Yeah, Florida. I mean, the Panthers have been really, really good this year. Really snuck up on me. Like it was funny when I remember when we looked at the standings for like the first time in a while, and I was like, Florida, really? Yeah, I mean, Florida, that division's going to be really interesting come playoff time because
right.
There's going to be, I mean, as is the case with any playoff series, but I mean, I feel like in that division, especially, like a couple of really good teams are going home, and it's sucks for them because we're a team like the North, we're a division like the North, they're just gonna be bad teams in playoff spots because they're just there for the taking. Whereas like I feel like in that division with like the Panthers and the Lightning and I believe the Hurricanes are in that division too, are they not?
Yeah.
Like a couple of good teams are going super earlier than they should. But I mean that's the nature of the beast.
And those three, and then you have Nashville and Dallas fighting for that 4th spot in there, or that's an interesting 4th spot race as opposed to out in the West.
Who wants it least?
The Sharks do, apparently.
You win.
Blackhawks shut out the Red Wings 4-0, and there Malcolm Subban with the shutout in there as Kane DeBrincat. Oh, thank you. I needed those fantasy points. Scored for the Blackhawks. Sorry.
Alex DeBrincat having a nice rebound season.
22 goals on the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice. Throwing Kane and Kubalik in there, and they have a decent trio that's still doing things for them, even though they've started their rebuild of sorts too. And finally, Dallas 5, Blue Jackets 1 on the night there. You have Pavelski getting his 18th. I'm sure you'll hear about that on the Pucknologist tomorrow night.
Don't poke the bear.
Oh, don't worry. It's already been poked. Are you kidding me? So there's your update on everything there. Like we said, with the win, the Coyotes go to number 4. The Blues are just a point back. The Sharks are now 5 points back as the Desert Dogs are at 45. So that is it for this one. We appreciate each and every one of you. In case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube channel, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, always available at tealtownusa.com. Ian, thank you as always for joining me. Your final thoughts and where the people can find you.
Final thoughts. Buy out Martin Jones. Just do it. It's enough. Enough is enough. Other than that, you can find me at Ian Blogs Hockey on the Twitter machine. I don't know. I mean, it's hard. Like these games have been really hard because it's like I've been watching them and I have like my hand on Twitter, but I feel like trying to find something other to say than this team is really ass every 3 minutes is challenging. It's really challenging. Like I feel bad. Like I feel bad for people that actually get paid to cover this team. Because I don't know what I would write at this point that wouldn't just be like, read that thing I wrote yesterday. And then read it again in 5 minutes. And then after that, I don't know what else. Like,
yeah,
it's a tough, it's tough. I feel bad for people that have to do this for a living. I just show up and do this for fun.
Right. And it's been fun, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's always fun.
Yeah. He's at Ian Blogs Hockey on the Twitter machine. I am at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. We'll be back with you on Monday when Patrick Marleau becomes the NHL leader in games played. in Las Vegas. We will have live coverage from Las Vegas on Monday. No, seriously, we will. I'm not going to lie. I'm fortunate to be able to do it. It's an anniversary trip with me and my girlfriend. We're looking forward to it. It just happens that this happens to be the night that it happens. So looking forward to that one. So it'll be fun. But yes, live coverage from Las Vegas Monday on After Dark. Be on the lookout.
Try not to get shivved in the arena.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what will happen. I am going to rock that Marleau jersey, so hopefully some sign of respect there. So the conversation will now continue on our Discord channel. So if you want to join us over there, feel free. And until then, thanks for watching and keep it real. Wait, no, you know what? Hang on. Not going to lie. Don't forget, Pucknologist tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific right here on the YouTube channel. The week that was in Sharks hockey will be on the air with AJ Rocket and Hockey Jerk. So until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Thanks for watching Pucknologist tomorrow night. After Dark live coverage from Las Vegas on Monday. Have a great night, everyone.